heart attack, and it's also another risk factor that is much more significant for women. Type 2 diabetes increases a female's heart attack risk by 3 to 7 times. Here's another way to look at it. Diabetes type 2 increases your risk of a heart attack to the same level as someone who has already had a heart attack. It only increases the risk for a heart attack for a man by 2 to 3 times. Ideally, your fasting blood glucose level should be less than 100. So if you're a sugar junkie, a fast food addict, a couch potato, or pudgy, you are quite possibly on the doorstep of type 2 diabetes. Next is a sedentary lifestyle. Are you starting to see how so many of these things go together? Do you see why lifestyle changes can make such a difference in your risk for a heart attack? A sedentary lifestyle goes hand in hand and results in most of the risk factors I've listed thus far. The more sedentary you are, the higher your risk for heart attack. Some people even say that sitting is the new smoking. And eventually you're going to see that a sedentary lifestyle increases your risk for most diseases. Now here's an interesting risk factor for a heart attack. Gum disease. That's right. Poor, gentle hygiene increases your risk for a heart attack. Now, when I say gum disease, I mean all of the following: gum infection, gum inflammation, bleeding gums, poor brushing habits, failure to floss daily, lack of semi-annual teeth cleaning. They all set the stage for bacteria to grow in between your teeth. And those bacteria make their way to your heart, where they implant on your heart valves and in your arteries. And that contributes to roadblocks in your arteries that cause heart attacks. Go figure, huh? Gum disease. And now for another unfamiliar risk factor for heart attacks. Have you ever heard of the amino acid homocysteine? It's an amino acid found only in animal protein, and it's in all the animal products you eat, no matter where they come from, how organic they are, or where they were raised. It's very simple. If it's of animal origin, it contains homocysteine. So all meat, all pork, all fish, all seafood contains homocysteine. Likewise, all animal products, including eggs, milk, yogurt, butter, cream, cheese, and cream, contain homocysteine. A high homocysteine level puts you at high risk for heart attack. And if you've been paying attention to any of my education anywhere, you know that I've told you on numerous occasions that eating a 100% plant-based diet is one of the best ways to reduce your risk of heart attack. And this is one of the big reasons why. About 10% of the population has a genetic predisposition for a high homocysteine level, but 90% of people have an elevated level purely from ingesting animal products. And women tend to have higher levels of homocysteine after age 55. And it's really easy to get your homocysteine level checked. All it is a simple blood test. And it's probably a good idea at the time you enter postmenopause, and that way you'll have a baseline. A level greater than 15 micromoles per liter is considered high risk, and decreasing your homocysteine level is so easy, which can decrease your risk of heart attack by 20%. It can also decrease your risk of stroke by 40% and decrease your risk of blood clots by 60%. The next risk factor for heart attack might surprise you. It's depression. Now, who would have thought that depression and heart attacks would be related? Well, they are. A history of depression significantly increases your risk of heart attack. Not as much as all the other factors we've discussed, but more than you'd expect. And the longer you've been depressed, the higher your risk. Likewise, the more severe your depression, the higher your risk. So if you suffer from depression, treating it will treat more than just the depression itself. And finally, we have your family history of heart attacks. In other words, if you have family members who've had a heart attack, it increases your own risk for heart attack. But remember, I've left it for last, and that's because people tend to place too much weight on their family history. And that's why the last podcast tutorial was all about family history. I separated it to make you understand it for what it is. It's really about common behaviors among family members that put them at risk for a heart attack. And you can overcome most of your family's increased risk by adopting different and healthier lifestyle factors. I've just given you 14 risk factors over which you have lots and lots of control. Your family and their behaviors is the one over which you have no control. Your family's history is not your destiny. So focus on all the risk factors you can change instead of on the one you can't. So the whole list includes losing your estrogen at menopause, previous heart attack, smoking, high, lousy LDL cholesterol, low, healthy HDL cholesterol, total cholesterol to HDL ratio greater than 4, high triglycerides, obesity, abdominal fat, high blood pressure, diabetes, sedentary lifestyle, gum disease, high homocysteine, depression, and positive family history. How many of those were new to you? Are you shocked? Are you relieved? Are you going, holy cow, I had no idea so many different things could cause a heart attack? And you understand that determining how many of these you have and determining how severe they are is the power of this education. That is the key to knowing whether or not you're at risk for a heart attack, and then deciding how you can go about reducing your risk. Obviously, if you can reduce those very factors that are the ones that put you at high risk, that's the very best thing you can do. I mean, you can reduce different factors than the ones that put you at high risk, but come on, it makes most sense to just reduce the ones that are giving you the high risk in the first place. I mean, that's just basic, obvious common sense. And you will be so shocked and surprised at how much you can actually reduce your risk for a heart attack if you will do that. I know, it takes a lot of willpower and you have to change all kinds of things about your social life and your diet and all that stuff. But the bottom line is it worth it to you? Would you rather have a heart attack? Or would you rather take time to make these changes and lower your risk for heart attack? It's all up to you. This education is called Your Menopause, Your Way. I know that a heart attack is not your way. The question is, how much are you willing to do to reduce your risk for heart attack? And that's why I give you this information and all these tools so that you can do whatever it takes to reduce your risk. Go to my website. It's menopausetailor.me. You will see so many educational resources there. That's all you're going to see. You're not going to see products. I'm not a product pusher. I don't have an angle. I don't have anything I tell all women to do. I just tell you to get the education. And I try to make it possible for you to get the education no matter what your timeline, no matter what your learning style, no matter what your budget. I want to make sure that every woman can get this education. So either watch my free YouTube videos or listen to these free podcasts or read my book or get the DVD, which is the whole education, or get the webinars, that's the whole education, or schedule a consultation with me and I will not only teach you everything, but I will tailor it all to you. This education will save your life. And if you get enough of this education, you will start seeing right away that menopause is not about hot flashes, because a hot flash never killed anybody. But heart attacks kill millions. So this is where I'll leave you today. Come back for the next podcast, which will be on risk calculators for a heart attack. I'll talk to you again then. Bye.